Hey there guys, and today we're going to be talking about one of the failed limiteds on the Roblox catalog. But before I can get into today's story, the challenge for today is that if you know what YouTube is, let's smash that like button and maybe click the subscribe button, why not? Anyways, you know what guys, scratch that, this is not one of the most failed limiteds, this is probably the most failed limited ever during my time on Roblox. I have seen many limited do extremely well, a lot of limiteds do really bad, and there are also stories of limiteds that were at one point considered failed, but rose to popularity out of nowhere. But this limited takes the cake for being the worst limited Roblox has ever put out, at least one of the worst. So today we're going to discussing the Infernal Undead Immortal Sword and how it became the worst Roblox limited ever. I want to start off by saying the limited being really bad has nothing to do with the actual limited itself. I mean, just looking at it, it looks pretty cool. It has a really nice effect when you're in game with it, and come on, you definitely can't go wrong with an Immortal Sword. I feel like Roblox added a lot of nice detail into the sword. I like the green coloring. It's a cool skull hanging of the handle. There's a spider. There's also purple markings on the blade itself. This sword actually looks really nice. Roblox definitely tried on it. Even though this is like the 10th rendition of an immortal sword, the particle effect makes this one unique. So why is this amazing looking sword one of the worst performing limiteds ever on Roblox? Well guys, I don't know who at the Roblox catalog sales team advises the selling of limiteds, whoever it is needs to be fired for this one, because they made this sword the lock-in stuff of the limited community when it was released. Almost every other immortal sword on the limited catalog has only 100 copies sold. It has 100 stock, all of the other immortal swords. But for some reason, even though its predecessors had only 100 stock, Roblox decided to make this specific immortal sword have 31,000 copies. You heard me right, guys. There is 31,000 copies of this sword. Just think about it. Literally almost every other immortal sword only had 100 copies, and then someone at Roblox went like, you know what, let's go ahead and make this sword specifically have 31,000 copies. I don't know who thought that would be a good idea, but the icing on the cake in this story is that even though this sword has 31,000 copies, it is being sold for 13,000 Robux. Now fellas, who in their right mind would spend 13,000 Robux on one limited with 31,000 copies? I myself am a big fan of the Immortal Sword series. I think it's a really unique thing Roblox created, a really nice set of swords, but dropping 13,000 Robux on Unlimited with 31,000 copies just makes no sense. First of all, I'm not even sure there are 31,000 Roblox players with 13,000 Robux, so I don't know who at Roblox thought it would be a good idea to make it 13,000 Robux for this sword. I think a more reasonable price would have been like 1,000 Robux. If this was only 1,000 Robux, I could definitely see it selling out in like a couple of days. Maybe even one day for 13,000 Robux for a sword with 31,000 copies. It's a complete ripoff for that. I feel a little bad for whoever bought this sword already. So in 2021, this is a screenshot from 2021, there were still 25,000 copies available of the item. That means only 5,000 people bought it since it came out. And you might look at that and say, well, it came out in 2021. No. Now, in 2024, it only has 30,000 copies sold. Which, okay, still like, okay, that's performing really bad. If you think that it came out in 2021, no. The limited has actually been around since October 2018, so it's almost been 6 years since the sword was released, and there's only been 13,000 sold in those almost 6 years. This sword definitely takes the world record for being the longest it's taken for a Roblox item to sell out, and it's not even close to being sold out in almost 6 years. In the past, that items that took way too long to sell, Roblox actually stepped in and tried to make things sell faster. I know that back in the day, Roblox actually bribed players to buy a limited hat that was doing really bad. I think there was another item called the Hooded Fire Lord that was taking way too long to sell out, so Roblox put it on a timer. And ever since this item came out and it failed the way that it did, Roblox never released any other limited structured in the same way if they release any limiteds now. So I'm pretty sure that they learned their lesson. I do want to briefly mention that there are two rumors that were spread about this item. The first one I'm going to talk about is that this item was released as a mistake. It wasn't supposed to have 31,000 copies or start at 13,000 Robux. Now I'm not really sure if that was the case, but to kind of disprove it, this item was released around the time where Roblox was releasing limiteds with really high stock. I think Roblox wanted everyone to actually be able to buy limited, so they made this item have 31,000 stock, but as I have mentioned previously, even though this has 31,000 stock, they totally messed up this limited by making the price 13,000 Robux. Secondary people have said that Roblox released this item having 31,000 stock and costing 13,000 Robux on purpose to get back at the people that use bots to buy Roblox limiteds. If you had an auto buying limited bot, the bot would have bought it and you would have wasted 13,000 Robux. Yeah, that's for sure not true at all, but it's just a rumor that people have spread. I feel like kind of bad for this item, because even though it's a really nice looking sword, it may never sell out as long as Roblox is still running. But yeah, that's all I have to say about the Infernal Undead Immortal Sword. It is a complete failure on Roblox's part, and I don't see it selling out in the near future. But yeah, thanks for watching, and I will see you guys in the next one. Bye.